Welcome everyone, this is AndresRestart, and today we are talking about how the next 6 weeks from Nintendo are going to be insane. Some things may appear to be bittersweet, but the overall picture, once it's all said and done, I think we're going to be looking at a very, very exciting year for Nintendo fans. So what's going on? You may have some ideas based off the things we've discussed already, but with more information now, things are becoming ever more clear. We're going to be learning about Nintendo games coming on the not-so-distant future, including things related to Pokémon, third-party releases, and yes, apparently also, the Nintendo Switch 2. But before getting into that, let me point out that we are aiming to reach 50,000 subscribers, so if you do enjoy my content, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Leaving a like is also super helpful, and enjoy the ride as we talk about Nintendo every day. So there's actually a lot going on right now. We just got the Q3 earnings release from Nintendo. There have been rumors and reports of a Nintendo Direct next week, and we've touched on these things already. I do want to have a moment where I do more of a deeper dive into the Q3 earnings results for Nintendo. But what's happened today, I think, is helping to put things into better perspective of what may be going on. And so that's what we're focusing on this time. So what I'm getting at here is that we recently got the Nate the Hate podcast. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Nate the Hate, he is a known industry insider and has reported on many things in the past that have almost all virtually come true. There have been times where he's been wrong, for example, when it comes to Switch Pro, but specifically when it comes to Nintendo Direct timing or just overall Nintendo event timing, he's been spot on. And so you may not have been paying attention to the channel lately, but if you have, and you've actually been paying attention to the videos and listening to what I've been saying, I have been hinting at a partner showcase maybe being what's going to happen in the not-so-distant future. And technically, I've been arguing since September that we might not even get a normal Direct, maybe a mini, and it's looking like not only will it be a mini, but a partner showcase next week. So what do I mean here? Well, Necrofelipe from Universo Nintendo, a Brazilian Nintendo news site, they reported that the Direct is happening on February 15th. Now, what's weird about that is that February 15th is a Thursday. Usually, the general Nintendo Directs that happen in February are on Wednesdays, but what's even weirder about it is that the event is being reported to happen on the 15th, a day before the Friday of that week, next week, the 16th, which is the release day for Mario vs. Donkey Kong, a Nintendo-published title. Rarely is it the case that a Direct comes out the day before. Think about this for a moment. If Mario vs. Donkey Kong is coming out physically on Friday, and during the typical Nintendo Direct we get a Shadow Drop announcement just hours before the release of Mario vs. Donkey Kong of another Nintendo game, that would be a bit peculiar. But what makes more sense if it is a partner showcase. And so today, Nate the Hate said he believes it's going to be a partner showcase. However, we go to fan boards, he already said that he was aware of what the format of the Direct was before the airing of this podcast. So basically, once he put all the information together, Nate the Hate believes it's going to be a partner showcase. It lines up with what we've been talking about and alluding to over the last week or so, and it also makes sense based off what's being reported by Universo Nintendo in terms of the Nintendo Direct date. And given that today is already fairly late into Wednesday, there's pretty much no way a normal Direct is happening this week, and most Februarys have a Direct in either the first or second full weeks of the month. So while I will take a moment to say that it's always possible that perhaps the information that's being put out there is a little bit off, I personally am expecting a partner showcase next week, which isn't the most exciting thing, I would say, because, well, partner showcases just show some third-party offerings. They are a showcase of partner projects. If I were to sort of rank the hype levels of a Nintendo Direct, you have the general Nintendo Direct, you have the Nintendo Direct Mini, then you have the Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase. And typically those just aren't as exciting for the general Nintendo fan base. However, we've had big reveals in the past. We've seen Shin Megami Tensei, we've seen Monster Hunter Rise, they've shown Age of Calamity in a Partner Direct before, so there can be exciting things there, and some of these things can be Nintendo related, they can be published by Nintendo even, but they are worked on by a third-party team. And so that does give us a little bit of wiggle room for some exciting things, even for the Nintendo fan base, even if you're just hard against all third-party things. But I do have issues with a partner showcase, even though I sort of expect it, because if there aren't going to be any major Nintendo announcements during this presentation, when will we get the announcements for games April through June? Well, there's a couple different possibilities here. One, Nintendo has some social media announcements, and some of these social media announcements are for games to come out between April through June. We already know about Luigi's Mansion 2 HD and Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. We've already discussed in the past how they both have been rated by the ESRB, and Nintendo could just put out a trailer with the release date at any point for those two games, and they both could fall in the April to June timing, potentially. But also lately, we have been pointing out how there's been a lot of things related to Zelda happening, and we're getting more. Nintendo's putting out a whole bunch of pins. There is this first 4-figure Sheikah Slate. This is putting out a Twilight Princess manga. We have the amiibo restocks, including a Wolf Link amiibo. There's a Zelda concert happening this week. Different things have been popping up, and so I do think there's a chance that maybe Nintendo has an announcement for perhaps some sort of smaller Zelda release that comes out in the first half of the year to be the Zelda content for the year, especially because I have a hard time seeing how Nintendo would fit in a major Zelda release into the second half of the year with the things we think are going to be part of the launch window for Switch 2. So while it may be the case that we're getting a partner showcase next week, I wouldn't be surprised if we get some sort of announcement, be it outside of a Direct or in a Direct, for maybe a Twilight Princess Wind Waker HD. That's my own speculation. I don't know what's actually going to happen, but a lot of different Zelda things have been popping up lately, and it seems to support the idea that different companies want to get out merchandise because there's going to be a reason to stir up excitement for the Zelda fan base. We shall see. Could all just be a coincidence. But regardless though, no matter how things shake out, Nintendo's likely going to give us games April through June. So we'll see how that goes, and maybe some of these things show up in a partner showcase, because as I said earlier, Nintendo releases can still be in a partner showcase, they just need to be made by a partner. So, do we know who the developers for Luigi's Mansion 2 are, or Paper Mario Thousand Year Door? I'm not sure we do yet. It's possible those are internal, and maybe those don't show up in the partner showcase, but what if Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD are being made by, say, Tantalus, for example? They're already mostly made, for the record, but just a project that repurposes them for Switch? Maybe that's part of the partner showcase. Or what if one of those third-party studios that helped to support the development for Prime Remastered is working on Metroid Prime 2? That could potentially be part of the partner showcase. And also point out that the studio behind Triangle Strategy and Bravely Default, they may be putting out an announcement soon. We could see that in the Direct as well, and that would be pretty exciting. There's also a lot of talk of Hi-Fi Rush. I think we could see that as well. These are third-party things, not necessarily Nintendo, but there is a way where I can envision a partner showcase happening that would fit the first half of the year, that would help fill it up, and it would be exciting, especially when Nintendo pairs it with some trailer announcement updates on social media for some of their other published titles that are coming in the first half of the year. But it goes beyond this. So let's say we get the partner showcase next week, right? Okay, maybe that's not the most exciting thing, but it's an appetizer. Because at the end of every February, we have Pokemon Day, and over the last several years, we've seen a Pokemon presentation to showcase their games for the rest of the year. And so shortly after this partner showcase, we are expecting a Pokemon presentation with more announcements for games coming to Nintendo Switch. And we could potentially have something as exciting as a new Legends game or another remake announced, and that could be pretty exciting, or maybe a spin-off, perhaps a sequel to Pokémon Tournament, or Pokemon Stadium 3. I'm just throwing out random ideas here, but Pokemon spin-offs oftentimes are announced during these presentations as well, not just the mainline games. But after February, the fun doesn't look to be stopping here. It looks like Switch 2 will be announced in the first half of March. So I've been talking about for a while, my predictions have been for a while, that we will see a reveal of Switch 2 by the end of the fiscal year, March 31st, 2024. However, during the Nate the Hate podcast, he doubled down on this idea of a March reveal, and even suggested that it could be happening before GDC, the Game Developers Conference this year, which starts on March 18th, and the 18th is the beginning of a week. So Nintendo's not going to announce Switch 2 during a weekend, they're going to announce it likely sometime between Tuesday and Thursday. So we're either going to see a Switch 2 reveal in either the first or second full weeks of March, it looks like. So either the 5th, the 6th, or the 7th, or the 12th, the 13th, or the 14th. Point being, It's looking like a week or 2 weeks after this Pokemon presentation, we are going to have a reveal for Nintendo Switch 2. Now, maybe it's not a full giant blowout where we have basically a direct size presentation showcasing a whole bunch of Nintendo games coming out for Switch 2, but I would say it's at least going to be a teaser trailer, and a teaser trailer could be a couple minutes long. It could have a number of snippets of several games the same way it was for the initial Switch trailer. So we're going to have information on several games. We're going to be able to analyze these bits of footage. We're going to be able to analyze the features of the system come this March. At the very least, it looks like, according to what we're hearing here. And this is my expectation. I could be wrong, but I feel better about it now that there are others that are supporting this idea as well. And so how I personally envision things, in terms of it working out the best for Nintendo and it exciting the Nintendo fan base the most, we get a few social media announcements of Nintendo-relevant games, like maybe Luigi's Mansion 2, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, hopefully a Zelda collection of Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, or at least just one of them, and that helps to fill up the months of April through June. But we also have a partner showcase that gives us a few cool third-party releases. Maybe the Zelda collection is somehow in the partner showcase, or maybe there's another surprise project in there that's being made by a third party but is related to Nintendo that's in there that helps to fill up this first half of the year. But there still will likely at least be a few cool third-party releases, like maybe Hi-Fi Rush, for example, or something from Team Asano, the studio behind Bravely Default and Triangle Strategy and such. But then, shortly after, we'll get a Pokemon Presents where hopefully they reveal something hype from Pokemon. I'm pulling for a Pokemon Legends game, maybe Pokemon Legends Celebi, something related to Johto, as their social media has been advertising lately. But whatever it is, I'm sure it'll be exciting for Pokemon fans. And then shortly after that, we're going to get a teaser. Maybe it's a bigger presentation, but I'm going to expect just a teaser. However, this teaser will showcase several games, several features of the system. And when it comes to the games, I'm thinking we're going to get our first look at 3D Mario. And if we're just getting a partner showcase next week, then I'm guessing Metroid Prime 4 will also finally be shown off during this teaser as well. And that's going to give us enough information to keep us excited, get us engaged, and talking for the next couple months as we approach the summer, where they'll likely have a bigger blowout for Switch 2. Which I do think positions Switch 2 to come out in time for my prediction by the end of summer, which technically, summer ends September 22nd. So if it happens in September, that would fall in line with my prediction. However, I would like to note that a reveal in March, I think, does open the door for a release possibly before September. This isn't something that other people are suggesting, this is just me putting out my own personal speculation. But if you look at when Nintendo Switch was shown off, October 20th of 2016, and then it released March 3rd of 2017, that's a 4-month and 2-week window. And so let's say we get a reveal of Switch 2 March 13th, Wednesday. It'll be on a Wednesday. Let's just say hypothetically it's a second week, right? 5 months later would put us in the middle of August, which would be an even longer gap than the reveal to release window of Nintendo Switch. So while it's completely possible they could have a longer gap here, they might have a shorter one. And so the idea of Switch 2 coming out before September, if it is going to be revealed in March, I don't think is crazy, because that's how Nintendo handled it for the first Nintendo Switch. But those are my thoughts on the going-ons when it comes to Nintendo as of late. It is looking like the next 6 weeks for Nintendo fans are going to be really hype when you put it all into perspective. If you're preparing yourself for just a big General Direct next week, you might find yourself disappointed. But if you've watched this video or if you've seen the other signs out there, just be aware that this actually strongly supports the idea that other things are happening really soon, including a Pokemon presentation and Nintendo Switch 2's reveal. But that's all for now, everyone. Let me know what you all think in the comments below. This is AndresRestart. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.